So his experiment would prove only that at that second you could predict the very next thing that would happen. It still wouldn't prove that free will didn't bring you to that interaction that second. Still wouldn't prove it. This is referring to the moment at the very end of the last video where I said, if he had all that stuff and then, and I just paused and I went, But then I realized all that would prove is that from that exact instantaneous second to the next was a predictable chemical reaction. That's all it would prove. It wouldn't prove that anywhere before that you could predict more than 2 in a row. You could only predict that one. And, more to my point, you would have to play the interaction through in order to see what it was going to be. You couldn't predict it. The way that you could predict atoms or billiard balls. The atoms or billiard balls, you'd be able to say, here's why it was happening. But you can't predict which random number was going to be chosen. Right? You can look at all those chemicals and stuff before that. And then ask them, and they'll generate the random number. But you weren't able to predict which one. And even if you could return, and that experiment could be run over and over, and they kept saying the same thing again and again, that doesn't prove that there was no free will in the chain behind it. That proves that if you stop at a specific chemical reaction, the next chemical reaction might come in order. You can't do 2 in a row, could you? You couldn't even do 1 in a row. You had to run the experiment to find out about the 1. So let alone doing 2 in a row, the complexity doubling, you can't get anywhere with such a concept. All right. That's a better answer than I had done before, because after half an hour of this bullshit,